Good day. My name is Dele Ayimibo and you are welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform Facebook Live from 3T Invest Trade Academy. And we'll be in the studio today is
Hyacinth Okwesa.
Alright, this program has three segments. The first segment is on trade education, trade news rather. Second segment is on trade program, and the third segment is on trade education. And this program basically educates our listeners in various areas of international trade, and we try to provide solutions to the trade challenges and also make available opportunities available, especially as it relates to the African continent. We refer to the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, and of course in other parts of the world. Remember, this program is on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is 3T Invest TV. Kindly visit the channel, subscribe to the video, click the notification bell. More importantly, please drop your comment and share with your friends and colleagues and allies who might be interested. Hi, so what do we have in the news today?
All right, trade news today. We have news from Punch newspaper, Punch, Legit newspaper, Cable, and also from the last one also from the Punch. The first news: sea trade increases by 260.6 billion naira in Q2. That's from Punch newspaper. Then from Legit, it's an online tabloid. Fish import: Nigeria spends 1.2 billion annually. That's from Emefiele. And then from the Cable, CBN confirms restriction or restricting forex for cassava byproducts. Then Punch newspaper, the last news for the day: NACO expands agri export business.
All right, let's start with the first one. Sea trade increased by.
All right, sea trade increases by 260.6 billion naira in Q2. That's from Punch newspaper. The total value of trade realized at the seaport in the second quarter of 2019 increased by 260.6 billion naira over the value recorded in the first quarter. Data from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics have shown the value of trade in the second quarter was 7.85 trillion naira against 7.58 trillion recorded in the first quarter. Export trade in the first quarter totaled 4.48 trillion naira, while import totaled 3.1 trillion naira. In the second quarter, export was 4.49, while import was 3.35 trillion naira. From the data, it was shown that Nigeria exported additional goods worth 7.3 billion naira in the 3 months from April to June. On the other hand, import witnessed high increase, totaling 253.3 billion naira in the 3 months ending in June.
I'm trying to understand this data. Export trade in Q1 total 4.48 trillion. In second quarter, total 4.49 trillion. Then we need to check it again, and maybe we'll have to discuss with our colleague to look at it. Because the data overall trade tends to reduce.
Yes.
So I'm trying to know where, what's the name? Whoever is doing this, where they're getting it from. I'm talking about, no, MBS. I'm interested in what Punch is reporting now, but we have to check. Because the graph went down in Q2 for export. Okay, maybe for non-oil export. Okay, we are looking at, I think it's non-oil export. Non-oil export.
This includes.
This is total export. Yeah. That's right, total export. Now, but you know, the cross of the matter in this news is saying sea trade increase by 260 billion. I'm not seeing any serious stuff in that. I'm looking at a situation where we're able to do more trade, not just necessarily by sea. There is road. You understand? So sea trade, in my opinion, means we are shipping more to other parts of the world, and we must be and we'll begin to look beyond other part of the world and begin to look at Nigeria. How do we increase and grow trade within Nigeria? And that's very critical, considering the fact we must begin to adjust towards trading with. So I said trade within Nigeria, trade within Africa. Sorry. So we must begin to adjust towards trading in Africa, and we have about 9 months more to adjust to that. If we do not do that, make that adjustment, what will happen at the end of the day is we are going to begin to adjust when we are now under pressure by virtue of people that are already coming into our market from the other part of Africa.
That's talking about the Africa continental
free trade agreement. Yes. Let's go to the next one. I've not seen any content in that news.
Fish importation. Nigeria spends $1.2 billion annually, said Emefiele. The Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele said Nigeria spends about $1.2 billion to import fish annually. Emefiele added that the current cost, current local fish production stood at 0.8 million tons, while the demand was 2.7 million tons, giving a deficit of 1.9 million tons. The CBN boss said that the bank is planning to work with coastal states to address the deficit of 1.9 metric ton and put an end to the huge import bill for fish, said Godwin Emefiele.
Now, how do we have the body of waters in Nigeria, and then we are spending this amount of money to import fish? And Nigeria also do a lot of aquaculture.
Yeah.
There's so many aquaculture businesses out there, and we're spending a lot of money. 1.2 billion. Let me put that in perspective for you. That's 360 billion plus 180 billion. That's 540 billion naira. 540. That's half a trillion.
Is it annually?
Annually now. Annually. That's half a trillion. That's a lot that we are spending on fish. Now, but we have, in fact, the Niger Delta people, all these militants. I thought
their water is polluted.
You said?
A lot of their water is polluted.
No, now the fact that the Niger Delta is having issue with pollution does not mean that must we fish in our own place. The fact is that these people are water people. The fact is that they are used to this lifestyle of fishing, and we should encourage them to do more fishing. They can do deep sea fishing now. The big solution is within their place. They can. This fish they're talking about, not be the one where they catch for your. They will carry what they call this trawler. They carry trawler into the sea to be able to get this done. But there are also a lot of aquaculture being done in Nigeria. I'm basically saying that, you know, if we're going to fix problem like this, there must be deliberate effort. We can ask ourselves critical question. Number one, I like the fact that the data was provided that we need about 1.9 metric tons. So, question is this: a typical pond in Nigeria, how much fish does it produce? How much of those ponds do we have? How much do we need in addition? And how much will it cost us to be able to empower youth to be able to have those additional fish?
Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
Is this thing that the CBN would, is it part of their objective of stimulating this type of development? What is the job or the function of NIGL?
No, CBN interest is to reduce the utilization of FX. Okay. That's their interest. So they are still working around the monetary policy, but doing other things to support the monetary policy. So, and they are the ones that have the money. I mean, NIGL is a toothless big bulldog, if you call me. They are NIGL, but they are owned by CBN. CBN give them the money. So, at the end of the day, when CBN is going to do this, they might have to engage NIGL to eventually disburse the funds. So, you can't really wait for NIGL to be able to do it. So, I can understand NIGL and I can what's the name? But I think NIGL also should go all out to look for money to be able to do some of these things. Right. But basically what I'm saying is that we need to be strategic about it, because you know, each time I think about this issue, the more I see the problem we have in Nigeria in terms of economic problem, in terms of product, food like this, the more I see solution to the unemployment. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The fact that we are not producing enough fish and we have a lot of military in Niger Delta is the fact that we can actually engage these people and work with them to be able to do this. So why should we have so much unemployment? We have so much land that can be used for farming. We have so much body of waters and then we are not. Who are those that fish? Do you know those that fish in Nigeria? The people 4 are the ones that fish in Nigeria.
Okay.
There's a place in Lagoon. I've interviewed someone around Lagoon before who does fishing, and go to the community. The community are basically poverty-ridden community. That means people that have what it takes in terms of fund are not involved. And what people that have fund can do is to empower these people, give them the canoe, give them all the equipment, and then when they produce this fish, you now agree on the rate to buy from them and sell. That means you empower them to go and do the fishing, then you buy from them. Because you are the one funding their production, then you can agree on the rate that will still be profitable for them, but eventually they are using that thing to pay back what you have invested. I'm basically saying that The fact that Nigeria have large population and we need to feed ourselves and we are importing more of this thing is the reason why we should be excited that we really can provide those jobs. Yeah. So there's no reason why we should not provide those jobs. So the challenge, and I am happy CBN is taking up the initiative to be able to support that aquaculture in Nigeria, or to fund trawlers to be able to go into the high sea to be able to do deep sea fishing, because we have a lot. Do you know, I heard some of the foreign companies actually come to some waters close to Africa to come and fish.
Yeah.
You don't understand? But to come and yes, now who are you? Who is monitoring? Who is monitoring? I'm saying, because they are doing a lot. They have all the technology to be able to get this thing done. In fact, I saw one video. That video, they were not using trawler, but they were using a boat also, a boat that is used for fishing. But there were plenty. I don't know if you saw it. There were plenty. So I don't know. It's like there are so many fish inside that the water. Because what they do is, as they throw in the hook, in less than 10 seconds, when they bring it up, they are bringing fish. So what they do is, they bring it up and throw it. So the fish falls at the back.
Then they throw it back.
They throw. And there were plenty doing that. And we're doing it. I'm just imagining how much fish is in. I mean, and
this is
it not paradoxical that we are hungry, we need food, we have the land to do the farming, we have the water to do this, but the people are unemployed. Do you understand? There is opportunity now, so why are people unemployed?
So it's more like just empowering them to
be able to do it. Let's look at
all right. Moving on to the next news from Cable. CBN confirms restriction or restricting foreign exchange for cassava byproduct. The Central Bank of Nigeria says it will no longer provide foreign exchange for the importation of cassava and its byproduct. Godwin Emefiele, governor of the Apex Bank, made this known on Friday while briefing journalists on the decision of the Monetary Policy Committee. Some of the byproducts that will be affected include starch and ethanol. And
those are the ones that are heavily imported into Nigeria. Heavily imported. By the way, yes?
Nigeria is the largest.
Yeah, by the way, if you are listening to us, Nigeria is the largest producer of the raw material for this starch and ethanol, and that is cassava. Nigeria produces the largest. The next is Thailand, and it's a distant second. Yes. Distant. We are producing over 60 million. They are producing about 40 million tons. But if you check the major exporter of cassava-related product, is Thailand. Yeah. Is Thailand. So I think it's a good idea. The only challenge I'm having now is, if CBN say it wants to do this, I'm asking myself, have you put in place processes to ensure that every cassava being produced is taken out
to reduce post-harvest
losses? Because that has been the challenge, to reduce post-harvest losses. So produce more cassava and reduce post-harvest losses and get them into the factory. Because I don't think we are consuming all those cassava that we are producing. Because there are other countries that are larger than us. Is it that only we eat this packing? Here to eat this packing. All right, let's go on to the next one.
All right, the next is from Punch newspaper. NACO expands agri export business. The Nigerian Aviation Handling Company, PLC, has expanded its agricultural export business. The Group Managing Director of NACO, Mrs. Tokunbo Fagbemi, said the expansion was in support of the federal government's effort to diversify the economy and also boost food export businesses. Fagbemi said that the company's agri-export business had huge potential as one of the pet projects of the new management.
It's a good idea, brilliant idea. I just hope when this management leaves, they will sustain this. There's no reason why NACO really should not have cold storage facility for the item being shipped out of Nigeria. Yeah. Cold storage facility will help us to be able to export all the perishables that Nigeria currently have. And I think NACO should not just stay at the airport. I think NACO should sort of stay at the Lagos port rather. I think NACO should move on to other ports around Nigeria to go to Port Harcourt Port, Enugu Port,
so they have like a
Owerri
dry seaport.
No. It's airport. They operate in the airport.
Like have a cargo ports in places like Benue, Nasarawa states, and the like.
No.
Produce all this type so that they can.
No. I'm not getting you. Cargo port how?
A dry cargo port for air transport.
No, what I'm thinking is, since they are already used to working in the airport and their relation with the airlines, produce the facility available. So if I produce my vegetable in Anambra State, I can know that I will have to drive few kilometers to get to Owerri, to get to Enugu, to get to Port Harcourt, and then it can be airlifted to Lagos. And from Lagos, what they can produce in addition to what you're talking about is maybe also I can call them to bring their truck to pick it for me. That would be a brilliant one. So sometimes when you see some of this idea, you're wondering why exactly is this not being considered? So you give me, I'll pick it up and I'll move it from your farm. From farm gate, I move it to the nearest airport and put it in the course of that nearest airport. Where the next airline is going, I put it on the airline. It's already packaged in the cartons and move it out. So by the time it gets to the airport, when I'm putting it into this coastal facility in the airport, custom can do what they need to do so that when it gets to Lagos, it just goes straight into those storage facility, and from there we can ship it out of the country. So we must commend NACO. I mean, even though sometimes we expect something to have been done long before, but when people have eventually done it, I think it deserves commendation. Yeah. So at the end of the day, they can also be encouraged to do much more. Move on to the next part of the program now. We're talking about the trade program. What program do we have in the month of October?
Trade program. In the month of October, we'll be having our export business clinic on the 19th and 26th of October, and also on the 22nd and 23rd of October during the weekday. The 19th and 26th is 2 Saturdays, that's the weekend, people who will be available for the weekend trainings. Then on the 22nd and 23rd for the weekday. This training is coming up at 3T Impact Trade Center, number 11D Bola Shadigbe Street in Surrey. So if you are a new entrant into export business, this training is specifically designed for you to help you grow and build your knowledge in international trade, especially as export is concerned. And if you're already in export business, you're having issues with your export transactions, this training is also geared to help you to solve those issues or those challenges that you're facing in your export transaction. This training will be looking at things like how to prepare and plan for your export transaction. We'll be exposing you to the different types of products that are available to be exported in Nigeria. We'll be talking about pricing. You know the products you want to export. How do you even put pricing on those products? We'll be demonstrating practical how to do that. And we'll be showing you also how to package your product for export. For those who also want to add value to their product, we'll be teaching you or showing you how to go about that and ways for processing some of the raw materials that we have for export to other parts of the world. We'll be discussing the different payment methods in international trade, and also we'll be discussing different programs that you can benefit and opportunities, other opportunities that there are in export business in Nigeria. Again, this program comes up on the 19th and the 26th of October for those who will be available for weekend. Then if you are not available for the weekend and you'll be free during the weekdays, then the training comes up on the 22nd and the 23rd of October 2019.
All right. We also have the import training program. It's called the 2-day intensive training on import trade process, letter of credit and bill for collection. It's for importers and exporters and bankers, and for anyone that is trying to go into that sector. And the benefit include understanding the SUNCAP, the e-product certificate, and e-SUNCAP certificate, reduction of demo rate to zero, and discrepancies to zero. It's always very enlightening for those that come in for this program, because many people that go into import in Nigeria generally start without any knowledge, and they've now started and they are seeing issues and challenges, and when they come in for the training, they just realize that, wow, I wish I've come for this training long before now, and I would have reduced my error rate, reduced my issues, reduced my challenges, and be able to make the business a success. So if you're interested and you're trying to import into Nigeria, or you're working in an importing company and you're trying to acquire skills to be able to know exactly how to go about it, remember the number to call is 009-124-4449, and the number also will be showing right now on your screen. And before we leave trade program, we also have the date. The date of that is 24 and 25 October, so we have almost a month to that actually. 24 and 25 of October, 24 24th and 25th of October, and its venue is 3 Tempestry Center in Surulere. Also, our investment program is still on. We hope to round it up this month. An investment program basically enables individuals who are looking to raise money or to generate money, to multiply their money, to invest with rest of mind, because there is guarantee from a tier 1 bank in Nigeria for your fund. And with this guarantee, it becomes easier for you to be able to ensure that at the end of the day, you are able to get what you want in terms of return in multiplying and growing your money. But more importantly, you can actually learn. You can get to ask questions, you can get to visit the location where we are processing, you can get to know a lot about export. So it's not just investing, it's also learning alongside. By the way, the return on investment is 20% for 6 months. That's 40%
in 1 year.
In 1 year. If you are very familiar with the financial market, familiar with the capital market, money market, you will know that you really will not be able to get that easily in anywhere in Nigeria. Even though some people tell me that they'll be able to get it. All right. Also, by November, we'll be bringing in new batches of the Trade Professional Development Program, Basic, Intermediate, Advanced, Executive Diploma in Export Business Management, and Executive Diploma in Export Trade Finance. So if you are interested in any of these training program, certification program to increase and expand and enlarge and equip you and your skill, it becomes easier for you to acquire those skills through this training program, certification program, and simply call the number and email that is currently showing on your screen. So we're moving on to the last segment of the show today, and we are discussing another, we've been talking about what we call the AFCFTA, and we're talking about the market intelligence. And we are moving on to, we have been discussing different products. Different products. So today we are talking about another interesting product, and that product is beer. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the export market for beer, it's about $122 million. And
no, export market. Are you talking globally or
within Africa?
Imports into Africa.
Yes, within Africa. So import into Africa. Now, what we try to do in this segment is that we look at the top importers and the top exporters, and which countries or the export destinations of some of the top exports countries within Africa. All right, so the top importers in Africa, number 1 is South Africa. Since we began this segment, for all the products we've done so far, South Africa has been top.
Yes, no, but it just shows you that
and also
whatever you see
whatever
you see South Africa do, it's not fluke. When South Africa, that's why I said I was a program on Saturday, and I was saying, look, Nigeria being the largest economy in Africa it's a fluke. What I mean by fluke is this:
it's by default. There's no deliberate effort.
No. What I mean, no. It's our population. It's not because we have a strategy we are put in place. It's our population. So, and one of the parts in the calculation of GDP is consumption. So, because we have huge population, our consumption rate is high. That is what is contributing. Not because of. If you look at export of South Africa is way. So, an import and export are a good chunk in the calculation of GDP. Yeah. But consumption and government spending is probably where we are doing better. That make us be higher than South Africa. But in the real sense of the word. Top exporter, South Africa. Top import, South Africa. What I don't now understand is why they are afraid of Nigeria. I don't know why it's a very permit attack. If you are the largest, you have all the money, you have everything, but they can't stand the
tenacity of Nigeria.
I think it's white that are doing all these things there.
All right, let's look at the top 10 importers in Africa. Number 1 is South Africa, importing $36.3 million. That's controlling 11%. Equatorial Guinea at number 2, $35.2 million. Algeria. I thought Algeria was it's an Arab nation and they don't take alcohol as such.
Sorry. Dubai import. You don't drink in public.
Okay.
You don't drink in public.
Okay. $26.6 million. South Sudan is in number 4, $21.5 million. Then Zambia at number 5, DR Congo at number 6.
So Nigeria is not showing again as top importer.
Top importer.
I think so. That means the people producing brewery in Nigeria, maybe we have enough to be able to meet up with those.
Also to export. Now, at number 7 we have Mozambique, number 8 Tanzania, number 9 Congo, and number 10 Cote d'Ivoire. Looking at the top 10 exporters, at number 1 again is South Africa. South Africa exports total value of $51.4 million. That's controlling a whooping 42% of the market. The next is Kenya, $25.2 million. That's 21% of the market. Uganda, $11.1 million, controlling 9%. We have Togo at number 4, $9.05 million. That's 7.4% of the market. Then at number 5, we have beloved country, Nigeria, $6.95 million, controlling 5.7% of the market. We have Burundi at number 6, number 7, Mauritius, number 8, Morocco, number 9, Egypt, and number 10, we have the Cameroon.
And remember that our objective in this program basically is to make Nigerian producer of different products to be able to understand the fact that, number 1, this product have market in Africa, number 1. Number 2, it doesn't just have market. These are the people already importing. That means those are the countries you can export to.
Yeah.
But number 3, these are your competitors. So when you're trying to export, try to investigate and know more about what your competitors are doing to see if you have an advantage in the market.
All right, let's look at the top 3. Top 3, and we will also include Nigeria as we look at the export destination within Africa for some of these exporting countries. Now we'll start with South Africa. South Africa exports to Zambia. 36% of their export of alcohol goes to Zambia, and Zambia is also part of the top 5 importers.
Okay.
So South Africa targets that market. Mozambique is also on the list of importers in Africa. South Africa is targeting the market. Tanzania also, as part of the importers in Africa, South Africa is sending 14% of their shipments.
So in a way, I can safely say that South Africa is really already positioned to be able to take advantage of some of this, which is why Nigeria cannot sit down and lie low and then we're just saying, wherever the case is, we have an advantage also of some things we can. If we already are producing this thing, and the good news for me is that we are also exporting. Did you check where Nigeria exports to?
Yes,
I checked. Where does Nigeria export to?
Nigeria exports 57% of our exports of beer
to Cameroon. Oh Lord, that's
54% of our export of beer to Cameroon, and we have 39% to the UK.
Oh yes, I understand. 39. You know, I was in a program in the UK about 3-4 years ago, and some port health authority in the UK were coming to give talk, and they said that year Nigeria exported I think 15 point something million pounds. And they said one of the top exports of Nigeria to the UK is they call it they call it liquor. Liquor. And they said, and I can understand why, because some Nigerians that drink in the UK, they said they don't like the Guinness, the beer. The one of Nigeria have African touch. I've not tasted it, so I don't really know how it looks like, but they have African touch, and that seems to be an interest. Our time is fast spent. Thank you very much for listening again today. My name is Dela Yemiwa, and you? Remember, this program come up every week on Thursday. Import-Export platform, Facebook Live from 3 Method Academy, and is live on our YouTube channel, 3 Impest TV. Remember to share the video on that platform. Don't just share the video on that platform. Remember to subscribe subscribe to our channel. Click the bell, notification bell, so you know when we come up, and more importantly, share. Thank you very much for listening, and bye for now.